May all graces of the Buddhas, Maha-Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Maha-Bodhisattvas, Arahants, Maha-Arahants, the grace of fathers and mothers, the great gurus, the great masters, please preside over this forgiveness statement. Regarding any relations with the world and all the samsara through attachment, any relations with the holy benefactors, Dharma figures, the great perfection, the Mahaparami, the noble ones, the noble Sangha, the benefactor triple gems, all the benefactors in the worldly elements and samsara, even the benefactors, fathers and mothers, to whom being totally related by attachment, which is not according to Nirodha, Nibbana, not according to following the natural extinction, the putting down, the emptiness, where such relations become karma, becoming karmic difficulties, which falls into circling of certain emotions, remaining as an attachment. And whereas it spreads furthermore to be the side effects of emotional karma, as worries, possessions, holding on, attachment, anger, hatred, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, totally turning into so many following emotional karmic difficulties. This is related wrongly to the power of delusion, desire, and the delusive attachment. It is not in the way of supporting each other in the way of letting go. Whether they are sons, daughters, wives, husbands, friends, family, close relatives, close friends, countries, homelands, the world, the societies, all communities at large, or within the formed up or the made up to be held as the highest, such as Nirodha and Nibbana, Vimutti and liberation, or the assumed morals that are held on to and are totally attached to the point until it turns into karmic difficulties that are unable to be ended until now, unable to come down to the conclusion until now, unable to be in accordance with the essence that follows the true extinction. The origin of all this is from the delusive attachment and the projection for obtaining and attainment. For everything that turns into karmic difficulties until now, or is going to become a force that will karmically affect the future, may everything be forgiven. Ahosi, Ahosi, Ahosi. May we declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and shapes, mental elements, sensual pleasures, lust, enjoyment, and all the practices for attainment, for enlightenment, for certain states of mind, for peace, for tranquility, or whatever. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within worldly habits or spiritual habits. All the aim and determination for mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, special insights, meditative absorption, meditative power, authoritative powers, wisdoms, quickness of the mind, and so on. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all vengeance, all the harboring thoughts to revenge, jealousy, comparison, prejudice, racism, discrimination, all types of control, mind control, using mind power in the way that hurts and harms others. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all habits of the mind to depend on anything, any principle, any concepts, any ideas, ideology, or terminologies that don't purify themselves. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded attached to relationships with fathers, mothers, husbands and wives, sons and daughters, relatives, friends, nations, countries, societies, and all the relations to the galaxies, universes, and the whole samsara. These are temporary existing of all relationships, paying back to each other from one lifetime to the next endlessly. We would like also to declare removal and cancellation of all possessions, ownership with places, living places, nations, countries, homelands, races, clans, tribes, the ideas about lineages, owning this body mind, and all the purposes for anything in life. Let's be clear that everything has the characteristics of ever-changing, unable to sustain or maintain. Meaningless in itself, ungraspable, unattachable to itself. Everything is unable to hold on to, otherwise it's going to be suffering. These three characteristics is in everything without exception. Be clear with this. See, know, look, taste, touch, anything with the eyes, with the perception that has nothing to do with grasping or not grasping. Otherwise, suffering will be there immediately. Be clear that life also meaningless in itself. It can be a payback for the whole life. It can be for the blessing for the whole life and forever. And it's also under these three characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Therefore, the place you live is also declining, in the state of declining as well. You can maintain it in moderation, but you cannot possess it or own it, even this body-mind. is anatta. It doesn't mean that it's just non-self. No one owns it, non-self. It is actually ungraspable, unattachable within itself. That's why live beyond living. Otherwise, you'll be suffering. Trying to own anything is a suffering in itself. Live beyond time, places, or races. Because all these is subjected to change. We are relating to each other in the way that is interdependent, temporarily interdependence, not more than that. And all the relations can end itself too, according to the karmic payback. The moment you relate to someone with the payback, you feel that it is forever. The relationship is forever. The place you are living is forever. That's wrong. Everything is in the declining state, subjected to change all the time. Be clear with it. Don't be so deluded to the illusions of forms and formlessness, of all the formal existence of everything, tangible or intangible. Everything in that state of declination. Awaken out of the awakening. Otherwise, you will be stuck with the awakening state and thinking that's the way. It is not. It is also declining itself too. Nothing is in being awakened or not. Nothing is in yes or no. No is not even no itself. What is it that is left here? Total extinction for all the time. That's the payback. The ultimate payback is the blessing. Not to be bound by places, races, or time, or even your incarnations. Wherever you are in any realms of existence, bless without using the mind. The mind is just a medium for giving that which has nothing to do with attachment, detachment, or non-attachment. It's unbound, limitless, countless. Therefore, time doesn't exist. Always blessing. Always using self-purifying reminders so that you're not stuck in any spiritual state of mind. Not being stuck in any state of mind at all. Use it all the time. The self-purifying reminders have been given to us in order for us to use them to help samsara, to end and to bless through ending altogether. Don't forget that. We are not here to maintain anything, because whenever you maintain anything within the mind or outside of the mind, it becomes a suffering immediately, because it is anicca, unable to grasp or attached. It is not attached to itself. Even the state of mind doesn't want you, doesn't grasp you, but you grasp the state of mind. This is a delusion. That's why use the self-purifying reminders. Everything is not about yes or no. No is not even no itself. No doubt, no hesitation. Doubts and hesitation dissolve by themselves through the reminders, because this is from the great compassion. The force that is infinite can clear all these doubts, questions, hesitations, etc. The more you share the infinite force, the more you come to a very clear point about whatever you have doubt with, whatever. It will be the answer on its own. By giving blessing, the answer will come and you'll be clear with everything on your own. But need to open up and constantly use self-purifying reminders. If you don't use them yet, you have to recognize your state of mind, which creates karma already. Why do we need these self-purifying reminders? Because the mind tends to hold on to something all the time. They don't purify themselves. So we need to use a tool to help dissolve it. And by dissolving this, it needs something that purifies itself. This is refining the blessing together with samsara, together. And your blessing is the answer for everything. Diligently open up. Everything is not about having anything to do with this and that. Even not related is not related to itself. No is not even no itself. What is left here? Nada. Nothing. Be clear that everything is under the characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, as mentioned. Unattachable, ungraspable. If you try to grasp even a split second, suffering is there immediately. Therefore, it is meaningless to try to hold on to something, even a tiny bit. When you are clear with all the nature of everything, automatically you can proceed with the blessing. Blessing without using the mind. It has nothing to do with having the mind or no mind. Emptiness is not emptiness itself. It is the unbound. You can make a conclusion that everything is not bound by places, races, time, incarnations, concepts, or whatsoever.